Hello, old souls. Welcome. If you'd like to come on in, have a seat for some symbolic support. My name is Steph. If you're new, welcome. If you're returning, welcome home. We are
Come
going to
outside.
create an Inkblot made in your name and essence that we are going to scribe for shapes and symbols that may speak to our psyche and psychic senses. We'll add on Tarot and Oracle, and where Mr. Ghost Gift is here kicking. We have GhostTube for any audio additions that may further add from the afterlife to our Aura adventure. So when you are ready to go, let's go. All right. We currently have a blank book. I've already spilt ink this morning quite significantly, hence
Pisces.
why to get rid of my nice carpet. Old souls, I hope you are doing well. You know the drill as well. If you would like to move along, you have the power to fast forward, reverse, save, all that kind of good stuff. Just a reminder as well, we are here to create a portal for our senses to perceive in, less worrying about making a masterpiece. But you already knew that. I hope you are doing well. You've decided to like, share, subscribe, and the link will be below to the extended in the event you are a secreter, a second tier secret society member. When you're ready, if you'd like to join me in closing the eyes, cleansing the palette of perception, releasing the race and the rush, activating the abstract mind and ancient awareness to perceive and receive symbolic support in the name and honor of empaths, seers, psychonauts, fellow old souls alike. May you meet a message with meaning. Your reveal.
Dig.
Here we go. I am just going to grab a stone. Apologies. To try and keep this down. New book. Who dis? You know the drill. If you see, sense, or feel anything, please feel well to comment below or keep to oneself. Any interactions with the channel is appreciated. Start scrying, Spirit says. Start scrying. Oh, I can see my ceiling fan in there. That's annoying. It's very distracting. It's like a little hypnosis thing. Okay, so there is a lot of creative energy coming through. And a lot of reflective energy. I'm seeing a lot of different colored eyes. Yeah, there's like real-time reflections going on here, old souls. A lot of, sorry if my shadow's in the way. I do try to keep it to myself. There's real-time reflections happening, or reflections happening in real time.
Busy.
Not to say that they don't happen in real time anyway, but I kind of get the sensation this is like almost like going through the Rolodex of reality really, really quickly. And it's like not only noticing, but then choosing to interrupt, accept, absorb, release very consciously, immediately. I'm seeing an old lantern being changed. Like how back in the day, or at least I'm imagining it, maybe depicted in movies, they would go and like take the candle light and have to go light the candles. Yeah, there's something going on there. There is
Love.
tar. That's so nice, love. There is tar being cleaned up. Do you know when they're making the lines on the road and then maybe they're changing the width of the road or something along that lines, and they black out the old yellow lines, the hashings, pass, or the solid line, not safe to pass, whatever the case is, or the double lines. Something's being reconfigured, and I have a feeling it's in this sensation of how I'm reflecting in real time. It's like driving the car and making decisions so instantaneously.
When.
Does that make sense? It's becoming habit. Maybe there's new, like, living holistically. It's not exhausting. But it's almost like learning how to drive. Maybe go to driver's ed, or you were taught, offside by your parents or your big sister, your big brother, or friends. There could be some anxiousness in that, I suppose, but also excitement. And I'm being asked to focus on the excitement because it's like getting a bike or your car. There's
Only
a
for
certain
you.
freedom. And whatever it is that you're doing in the here and now, the steps, the skill sets, it's like being able to shift. Lots of car analogies came through the other day. Was it in Capricorn's reading? Not the point. I appreciate it. To shift perspectives, like lenses, really quickly, like changing the channel on the television, lighting the candle of the lamppost. That symbol really might mean something to somebody. This leads me somewhere. Something's being unhidden. I'm following the yellow brick road. Follow the yellow brick road. I don't know if a part of me or someone, something, apply anything that might see fit for you, that felt like it was blocking it out. Like the path just disappeared. The path just disappeared. Again, I want to come back to like somebody blacking out the hatchings, and it was like, now I'm like, well, now I'm just on some rural road that has no hatchings. It has no indication. Your sight is all you have. Your skill to be on these back rural roads where there's no street lights, there is no hatchings at all. It is road, gravel, ditch, and but your skill set is for that. And then there's also, depending on where you live, and I'm out here rurally, but there are different things that, just with different animal life, you have to pay attention to as well.
Monster.
Because they kind of do jump out at you. So that's what it feels like. It's like somehow in these reflections, there's, thank you, can I write it down? Probably won't remember. A depth of character and driving this character car. Your physical expression is like the character car, and the skill set of whatever it is you're driving towards, whatever you focus on. But then again, this like changing the channels on the television. Back in the day, you would go and have to go up to it or ask somebody, can you change the channel? Like, I don't want to get up and change the channel. Then a remote came, or a clicker, depending on what maybe your household called
Follow
it.
me.
And sometimes we lost the clicker, so we'd have to go back to manual ways to change the channel. And now I've been able to like save certain channels. I feel like, I hope this makes sense somewhere along the lines. That's all in there. And it's like this creative spark, creative seeds. There's also something in my footing, because I'm seeing these like headlights, but then I'm also seeing a Swiss Army knife. If these were, I don't know, a Swiss Army knife, and all these different things can come out. Something's also trying to peel my eyes open. It's like I'm trying to stay awake while driving tired. I might be wrapped up in something creatively. Okay, why do I say creatively? Because it doesn't feel creative in the typical sense that I personally, wander me around. Is it a chord of something? Is it a chord? Okay, so I'm going to use the term like traditional. Can I do that? I feel like that might work. Some traditional cord cutting that maybe you need to do, you want to do, are doing. Working in, again, it's a skill set because it's like feels older. I'm going to bring in a shaman here, a shaman card. But it's kind of, pretzel is the word, pretzel, if that shape means anything to you.
Moron.
And you're so cheeky, Ghost you. Hopefully you're not calling yourself a moron. But maybe something's being held on because I see it being cleaned. Do you know what it makes me feel like? How do I say that? Did I just put the white of the eyes becoming whiter in an effort to, it's like I'm trying to stay awake again. Fresh air, fresh air. Give me a moment, sorry.
Elderly.
Because it's something that, it's like doing an eye cleanse when, like, you know, those stations at jobs, if you get something in your eye or a first aid kit and you flush out the eyes. Thank you. And it might be in this perception that is switching to glide. And now the lenses
I
can
don't
change
know.
really quickly. You might even be starting to see, I don't want to say at night because that's not it. It's all, maybe just the layers. Is it? Anyway, sorry. You know how, like, there's like earworms, something stuck in your ear, and it's like something stuck in your eye. And you get the goop out and you switch to glide. But it feels older. It's kind of hanging on a little bit, but you're working through it. It's like you're doing your flushes, whatever that might be. Maybe you're fasting to some degree or another, or whatever the case is. I'm not sure, but that's what it feels like. I'm also taking something for a walk. I think I'm going to say my shadow for a walk up here, and my shines. Like, if this was do you know who I'm seeing it as? I'm seeing it as a Mickey Mouse, specifically in the movie Fantasia. Yeah, specifically. And see, now I have something in my eye because I'm all wigged out about it. Okay, let's go.
Russell.
From the movie Fantasia. And if you've ever seen that movie, because I think it's older, is it Fantasia 2000? There might be more than one as well. And it's all like orchestra music. Okay, so maybe you're listening to music in the car.
Stupid.
Or in your, not nice, or in different places to help add. So maybe sound stuff is coming through. It doesn't even have to be so majestical. It could be like, for me, oddly enough, most of the clocks in my house don't tell the time. I just, forward ahead. It's all very much batteries dying, but I love the sound. Like, I have one here. Love the sound of a clock ticking. Maybe like one of those, what are those thingamajoos called for, like, the piano keeping tune, or musicians. Maybe it's, for some, it's the sound of a really old car starting, or the non-sound of an electric car starting. And that might be a cue for you. That might be a cue. A cue and a clue. Also noticing what's background sound. Old Souls. If I didn't say so already, Old Souls, thank you so much for being here. And if you're interested in the extended, we'll flip to the other side, Scry. I'll put the link below.
When?
So we have here Shaman of Sorrows. See this coloring right here? This is this. Is this a tongue? Yeah, I'm spitting something out. Hold on. There is a significant amount of spirits around you. 5 might be standing out to you, a handful, like your tribe of sorts, but it's like the spirits of your home. This isn't about like hauntedness. This is your house spirit. Even your house, holistic house, the car. I keep touching my face, and but even the way, like this, the Shaman of Sorrows, I'm taking something
I want you to go.
clean. It feels clean. Okay, sorry, this is changing on me as well.
Come over here.
It's still Fantasia Mickey Mouse. There's a friend here, and I am balancing something on my nose. Promise. You know what's interesting about this? Sorry, give me a moment.
Africa.
I kind of feel like I'm chained to something. It's not this. I might feel it's like this. Also something about like changing the oil of a car, or maybe somebody's working on like cleaning bloodlines. Sorry. So what the point is over here is I feel like at some point in time I might have been chained in the opposite, like switch these roles. Okay.
More.
So imagine any sort of scenario that feels well to you, where there's like a master and a slave situation, whether it's magical, mystical, mundane, lineage, whatever the case is, right? And then it has switched through some work. There again, there's this reflection Rolodex that's happening really fast and really in real time, even though it doesn't apply. There's no rush. That's what I'm hearing. There's no rush, even though it's real time, right? Minute for minute. Hear the clock and use it as a soothing mechanism to keep time, but not in a calculated way, in like a heartbeat way, to almost like stay calm. So the roles have been reversed as an opportunity for one to be in it, and possibly, maybe, if this isn't your part of your scry story, thank you for holding space for others, are you, or is somebody else or another aspect going to
The doll.
punish in return under the guise of power, right? Now the power dynamic has changed, and maybe you've unwrapped this, and just in, you know, it's like in some situations when someone's like, oh, it's about equality, but when the roles are reversed, it inevitably is the same thing that it was, just role reversal, whether this is energies within the self or concepts. I'm sorry if this doesn't make sense, but I'm going to keep going with it just in case it does somewhere, because I'm on one of these rural back roads and I'm being cautious, and yet I've got like my high beams on. That's how it's feeling. Maybe it's those eyes that were trying to stay awake. It's like high beams on. And then I feel like I could also like turn on my fog lights by like wiggling my nose or something like that. I don't know. Or like opening the window to smell different smells. I don't know why that's a thing as well. Maybe it's the fresh air. Maybe it's the fresh air. Okay, sorry. And I will, so you can, I don't need to be a hog. And I'm feel in this very moment, I am in this situation. It's not a situation, but it's a reflective situation. And I'm deciding in real time, but not keeping time, not tit for tat. And I'm choosing how I'm going to respond, react, maneuver around this. Dynamic. I don't want to repeat something because there's a charge, something like zapped me to say, it's almost like I'm quasi being tempted to say, see, now you have the power. How do you want to
I can't
proceed?
speak.
You want to, you want to prove, you want to do this, have them feel your pain or whatever the case is. But you've got this, it's almost like you can see all the paths really quickly. And I know I keep using these terms and yet they're not accurate. Maybe it's just like timelines. Like I can head this way to the city. I can take this way to the back road. I can take, the
I said
highway.
no.
I can take this. Whatever these pathways are, it's like I can see them, these choices, and you can wander down them deciding which timeline you're going to interact with this feeling. Because maybe it's from the past. Maybe it's from yesterday. Maybe it's from 67 lifetimes ago or 429,000. Who knows? So I'm in this weird space of like we're time and
Harm.
tick-tock, but yet no time. Don't rush because it's reflective of my realities. I'm sorry if I yammered on and that just went wild. Dancer of life, because it is your life. And contrary to me putting these in a linear line, which is ironic as well, this is a shaman's palm. So this is the cave of ice, the cave of winds in your mind, and then the cave of hearth fires in your heart. And it's like I made a
Far
promise
away.
and I have to, but it's like I'm making a promise to myself, or I made a promise. I took an oath somewhere along the lines. And I think I'm not failing at that oath. I'm realizing it's outdated. It's this situation up here. Maybe it's to your family. Family line, or you took an oath to learn the hard way. I hear you there. Suffering, you know what I'm saying? Or some sort of self-punishment. See, oh my gosh. The shaman of reflections is in the cave of rivers. There's the big figure and that's the little figure. Big figure and little figure. And it's almost, right, there's the snake, there's these shadows of things. This is this card. Can't even make it up. This Inkblot is this card. There's something about things becoming like my pets, and maybe you are having new pets come into your life, partners, familiars, etc. But there's also this that's not even helpful at all. There's also this potential. I don't want something to be submissive to me. Where, when someone's like, "Oh, good girl or good boy." I'm not talking about if it's to an animal. Sorry if I'm like ridiculous in trying to express this.
Speak.
It feels demeaning. But I also don't want to be rashly rebellious. I'm super reflective. And the promises I'm going to make to myself. Does this align? Does this choice, thank you, align to... It's like, as I make those choices, that's what I'm reaffirming something I'm in line with. Even though I might say something else, or maybe this is reflective of how you might even see the world sometimes. When people say this, but they do this. They're like, well, where do you said you were going here, but you went over there. And it's not that they're a liar, but it's almost like maybe they are in some case, but it's like, I don't know. But it's like, well, follow me.
Harm.
We're heading here, and you're like, okay, and then they go somewhere else, and it feels disrespectful in some way because well, I need to make 10 stops on the way. Well, why didn't you say that? Because then I would have made a different decision, or I would have said, okay, I'll leave in 10 minutes
What
and
happened
I'll
to
meet
me?
up with you. Because it kind of feels not harmful in a way. It just feels rude. And it feels disrespectful, and it feels again like a power thing. And I'm not trying to say one way or the other. It's just like power is power, and I feel very conscious, old souls here, empaths here, psychonauts, that I am not judging it, but I would in a way that comes in a what's good or bad, but I am judging it in a way of I'm responsible and accountable for what I align with. So I will judge it from my point of view, but that doesn't define it externally. That's not my business. And then finally I come into, in the cave of earth, is the dancer of inspiration, which is so lovely. Even this dancer of life in the hearth fires feels like the Swiss Army knife feel. And there's also another thing I'm seeing in here, but forgive me, I want to call it something to do with fishing. But I don't know the words. They're like shiny things that you put at the end of your fishing line. Do you know the word? I feel like I know the word, but I don't. It's not on my palette. Okay. Or, no, it's not an or. Oh, anyway, for heavens and hot dogs, I don't need to. If you know what those things are called. You are dead, but you're still very much so alive. All right, let's add on a final oracle card. Sorry if I yammered on. Because what are those things on the fishing line? They attract other things? A certain kind of fish, or... Yeah, right? I think that's whatever those things are called. We're going to add on a Trust Your Vibes Oracle card. And then I'm going to get ready to go to the other sad Scry if you'd like to join me. And if not, that's okay too. I'm so grateful for you. So we have here back to basics. And the number 4 might mean something to you. See, these are all the things, that we could like physically say.
What happened to me?
I don't know. You're welcome to share with us what you think might have happened to you. What is nourishing me on a very basic fundamental level, but many reflections of fundamentals. So like frequency food, I suppose. Again, whether I'm fishing or I'm going down this yellow brick road, sorry, the message coming through is that you're going to make it. It's like getting to your destination and you're making it. You make it. Maybe you've made it. And you've made it this far. Congratulations, but you're making it. This feels like the fishing thing, whatever those things are called.
Find me.
And I can follow it down, like this feels like the shadow. And then there's a light line and a shadow line. Maybe it's even more shamanic in nature, or like Agartha interactions with different beings. Also, keep the promise to preserve and protect your essence, because I have a feeling, sorry if I'm yammered on, I have a feeling in that power situation, and
I told her.
Okay. Your essence, your mojo, life force, it's kind of being fed on. not fed up, but I think you're very aware of it. You know what I mean? Just certain energies and entities, and you're like, because you can see through these reflections of realities and these perception glasses of sorts.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Thank you so much for being here. Even if they're not conscious of it or awakely aware what they're doing, like, for they know not what they do. And this isn't an excuse, but this is like a compassion. And you're stepping in as maybe a teacher, learner, vice versa. I don't know. But you're something about preserving that life force. And it's in the Inkblot here as well. Preserving it. And I think that's maybe coming back to a basic as well. Because I see this as ta-da, hurrah, you've made it. And then you'll start another journey or another layer or pull out another tool of this, spiritual and scientific Swiss Army knife. And then because it's like you're learning how to use all these tools. Okay, I'm going to flip this. I feel like I've yammered on, but thank you so much. I will see you on the other side. And if not, old souls, I will see you again soon. Thank you for your time, awareness, and attention. Your presence warms my haunted heart.